They're not managers. They're not scouts. They've spent exactly 0 hours in a baseball front office. Welcome to From the Peanut Gallery, where above-average fans give you below-average takes on America's pastime and other stuff too.
To the first episode of From the Peanut Gallery. We will be doing some editing to that as we've had a couple of personality changes, but some big personalities we still have. We have Emily Nyman from, longtime Corey Seager fan, Emily Nyman. Emily, how are you? Emily, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was really disappointed that baseball stopped after Game 5 of the ALCS. I don't know why they did that, but
weird.
And then for his second night live in a row with someone else, we have Ed Rivera of the Dad Hat Chronicles. How are you?
Whoop! What up, son?
We have a fun show for everybody today, and like I said, it's a brand new show. It's going to be a little all over the place. I think we're going to talk Legos later on, so I'm excited about that. But I do have to come clean. I'm always like talking about how, like, if you love people that love baseball, you root for them. So I do have two guys, one of whom I served with, one of whom whose career I saved. That's he's watching now. That's right, Eric. Yes. Who are big Rangers fans and have been for life. And so congratulations to them on winning. And for as much as I have real issues with the organization and their viewpoints on things like Pride Night and this and that, that's not the fans' fault. And a lot of people got to celebrate. And so congratulations to all the Rangers fans out there.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Going through, I think it was the main account at Rangers on X or Twitter. They asked for a thread of like everyone's reactions to the last out, and just scrolling through, seeing people, who are in their 70s or 80s reacting to it, like people who thought that they were going to die without ever seeing this team win a World Series. And you can't help but, just baseball is the best, and you just can't help but even feel nice and get emotional for those kind of fans.
I'm currently on that list, so I might die.
I was going to say, yeah, because Ed, I don't think so. But I think it's weird. And because there was this really great video of somebody had shot his father. He's like a news reporter or something. He had shot his father as he reacted, and his dad just like sat in the chair and cried. And I'm thinking to myself, like, so I cried in 2017. I didn't cry in 2005 when the Longhorns won the national championship, and I didn't cry in any of the 3 Super Bowls. I think baseball's different, Ed. Like, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Why? But why? Like, why is that different?
Like, it's simple. It's America's pastime. Let's be honest, right? Like, you grow up. Like, that's the one thing. Like, and this is how I equate this, right? Is, but with baseball, you grow up playing the game, right? Like, your parents, right? You learn how to play the game from your parents and your family members, grandparents, whoever, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be parents, but you grow up with that, right? And then as you get older, you still reminisce on your childhood, and to finally see your team. Well, I haven't seen that yet, but eventually when they do, then it's gonna be fun, right? Like, we came very close. My team came close in 2016. It was like this close.
We were a rain delay away from winning.
We were a rain delay from winning. We had the momentum going, and it was taken away from us. So yeah, listen, there's nothing, football is not going to be the same. I was at the 2017 when the Cavs won the championship. I was in Cleveland still, and when that was like, it was like pandemonium. I was hugging people and all that, but it's like, I don't know if it's gonna be, like, I know baseball's gonna be surpassing that. Once Cleveland does win it, it's gonna be like something like euphoria everywhere.
It's a grind, like, especially people, if you're getting that emotional about your baseball team winning the World Series, it's most likely because, like everything that Ed said, your entire family's watched it. You've watched it with your dad, your dad's dad, your dad's dad's dad watch it in a lot of these cities, but also you've probably watched at least 100 games this season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's such a grind, and it's even for the best teams, the teams that win 100 plus games. There are months where it's a grind, where things are not looking that great. This one's getting a little injured. This one doesn't look right. You're always feeling like when is the other shoe going to drop?
Yep.
And I feel like the only fans that maybe didn't experience that were the Yankee fans in the late 90s to early 2000s, where they won like every World Series in a row. Because even me, I never really experienced that, just because I didn't grow up in a family that like loved the Yankees. So like I wasn't a little kid watching those World Series. So like even me, I feel like all right, they're good, but who are they going to lose to in the postseason? Who's going to be the team that beats them? Like you're just always feeling defeated as a baseball fan, no matter what team you are a fan of. So it's just nothing is like it.
You're emotionally invested, right? Like, I mean, you can't finish it all out. Like you're just.
I cried last year when they lost. 38 years old.
And I have actually myself to like, I watch the first spring training game and that's it. I don't watch any spring training, because I know come pitch one, it's going to be, even if it's not on the main TV, just going to have it on the laptop on silent while watching something else. Like we literally will watch 180 baseball games a year.
I have it in the background always. This is why I love spring training, because I can be at work and then have it in the background and still listen to it.
That's nice.
That is nice. Maybe I should try that.
Yeah,
because like you don't care about the game. It's just nice to have live baseball happening with like names that you recognize. You know, nothing.
Bingo.
No disrespect to college baseball or whatever that starts around the same time, but hearing your guys, you know,
exactly, and that's what it is.
So the playoffs happened.
Did they? I wasn't aware of that.
But like overall, what was your take on the playoffs? And we'll start with Emily. Like obviously there were some good games, but looking back, it didn't feel like they were that competitive. And I know even though like both CSs went 7 and the World Series really wasn't competitive, but I don't know. It felt like while the series were close, none of the games really were, except for like the Astros winning Game 5 when they had the comeback. Like, what are your thoughts on just the quality of the World Series or the playoffs in general? And then we'll go to Ed right after.
You know, I think that my perspective is a little skewed because my team wasn't in it. So in my opinion, it was fine. It was okay. Like I would have preferred obviously some better series, but I think it's tough. You know, those 3-game best of 3 wildcard series are tough. You know, it's hard to get something going there.
Right.
Even the best of 5, it's hard to get something going there. It's easy to drop 3 in a row. So I think that it was almost relief. It was nice that my team wasn't one of those teams that just got all the way there and then just shit the bed like the Orioles. Like there were so many teams that I felt like had that. And because it wasn't my team, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the bracket falling apart. I like that. I think that postseasons that follow the bracket too closely, even in baseball, it's boring. Like it would have been boring if it was the Orioles versus the whoever, you know, who was the best team in national? The Dodgers or whatever, the Braves.
Braves,
like, that's boring to me. And that doesn't even guarantee a better series necessarily. So I think that the earlier rounds it was nice it wasn't my team, and the later rounds were exciting. 2 7-game series, you know, I think that was cool. Or 5-game, whatever the National League was. As you can tell, I was very relaxed watching the postseason. I'm like, however many games it was.
The NL went 5-2 because the Diamondbacks just really came out of nowhere and were the story. But Ed, how about you? Just overall,
overall, I was a fan. I loved it. And in my opinion, I believe that baseball has the best playoff format. Okay, because you have the best of 3, and then best, the 1-game wild card. I was not a fan of that, right? But like the best of 3 was awesome. Then you move to a best of 5, and then championship best of 7, right? I think that overall, me personally, I'm always going to be rooting for like the underdog, unless it's my team. So I'm always going to be rooting for the underdog, right? So I really love the storylines of like these teams that came out of nowhere, right? You got these 100 plus teams that just, like Emily said, just shit the bed when it came to the playoffs, right? Baltimore, everybody thought that they were going to make it far. That didn't happen. The Dodgers, everybody thought that they were going to make it far. That didn't happen either. The Atlanta Braves, right? So you had these teams that were like the top of the, all year long, and then all of a sudden nothing happened, right? Yeah. And then, not to put some salt in your wound, my friend here, Jim, but like, with everything that happened with the Rangers at the end of the season and losing that division, right? And then, Houston come in and winning it, but like, that storyline was really good because then you got to see what happened, right? Like, okay, Texas, the Rangers are pissed off, so they're gonna go. They went through a gauntlet and they just dominated, right? Philly came up short. They came up against a good, Diamondbacks team that, again, same thing. They were competitive for most of the year, but you never thought that they were just gonna make it, and all of a sudden, boom, again.
Yeah, when Houston swept them, and yeah, I get it. Game 3 of that series was their hangover game to close the series out, but I mean, those were 2 tense games. Talking about like feeling like playoffs already. I think 1-0 was one score, and 3-2 was another. Like my grandfather was happy because that's how baseball scores should be. There were 2 lame storylines to come out of it, and in one, I'm going to ask you guys to find a way to defend Alex Bregman in just a second. But the one thing that I was tired. The narrative I was tired of was the whole layoff was bad for the top teams, and of course they don't really care about that until it's the Braves and Dodgers that are out, and all of a sudden it's like the ratings are gonna disappear before our very eyes. Ed, like I understand the arguments on both sides, but to me, you play for that 1 seed. You want the time to get healthy and
you do. And then I asked this question on my live show, by the way, the Data Chronicle Sports Show. But I asked that question, right? I was like, okay, did the top teams, except for the wild card, right? Like, did it affect them, right? But at the same time, I was like, listen, they want to play for that. Why? Because now they're resting their players, they're resting their pitchers. Now the pitchers are all fresh and ready to go. So if you were to tell me though, these teams were like, yeah, no, we'll take it. And we'll take our chances in the playoffs. But I think it kind of did affect them, right? Because they were not playing. And then it gave an opportunity for these wild card teams to get hot at the right time. They got really hot at the right time. Again, you had Philly that got hot. Then you have the Diamondbacks and Texas. So there's a lot of things that happened all of a sudden that were like, here we go. So it made it for me. It made it for a really good storyline, like you're saying, throughout the playoffs.
Emily, do you want to follow up on that?
Yeah, I mean, if you were to ask literally any team, let's say if you are the 1 seed, you get to choose if you want to have the time off or play a series now. Every single team is going to choose time off. Every team. Yeah, and I think that part of it's a sport of attrition, and part of that is managing the entire season and managing momentum and trying to capture it at the right time and hope that it hits at the right time. And that's why those teams that sneak in with the wild card and have those division races are dangerous, because they're playing hot baseball. And those are the teams that win, where the teams that have won, 106 games and won their division a month and a half ago, they've been trying to manage that and get to this point. And when it comes to, people always bitching about the 100-win teams when they lose, this tournament has never been about crowning the best team. It's
the
about
best regular season team. Yeah.
Right. The best teams, these are the top 12 teams in the league by record. There's no funny business there. They've earned these spots. And well, shoot, sorry, I forgot where I was going with that. They've earned their spots in the postseason, and it's about then winning that tournament. That's it. You know what I mean? People try to make it like, oh, it's a federal offense that the Braves lost or the Dodgers lost. They have to beat the teams that are playing. You're trying to tell me that they would have fared better against a better team in that moment? They played the worst ranked team going into the tournament.
Well, and that's it too. Like for one, you have to acknowledge that the playoffs are not the same, because you're taking a sport built on large sample size and reducing it to minuscule. And Ed, to use like a college sports thing, that's why they do a regular season champion, right? And then you have your conference tournament at the end. All right, so I got to ask you guys to defend Alex Bregman here. Now, Alex Bregman, when the Astros won the division, made a cheeseball statement about you couldn't imagine, or what would it be like if the Astros didn't win? You'll never know. Corey Seager did the same thing. And my argument to Corey Seager is everyone, all the national media up until August was like, well, eventually the Astros are going to win this division. And then it got close. So there was that dialogue of, wow, the Astros might really blow this division. Versus no one saw the Rangers coming. So no one was talking about the tragedy that it would be if the Rangers didn't win the World Series. So I think that the Rangers interpreted that as some kind of a shot at them, and I just don't think it was.
I mean, I think that's shit talk, right? Like you can't be afraid to talk shit. If you are, then you don't ever do it. But it's what makes the competition really, really fun and makes it exciting. And these players, they take everything personally. Anything that each other says, they assume, unless they're talking directly to, like, I'm talking to you, the press, I'm going to use that as fuel. If I'm Corey Seager, I'm going to use that as fuel. I'm going to say this was a shot at us. This was a very tight division race. When they won it, they then had that to say. So I'm going to say that. And especially because look at what the Astros have built over the last decade. So if I'm the Rangers, literally anything that anyone from the Astros camp has to say about anything that has to do with my team, which the division does, especially this year, and they had the division and then they stumbled and they freaking fumbled the bag at the end, I'm going to take that personally. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's what makes competition exciting.
Yeah, I just think that I don't take his retort personally. I just feel like it justifies my theory that people in Dallas can't read. Ed.
I can argue with that.
So and like Em said, like like you're gonna have locker room, bulletin board going on. Like that's what happens. Like that's why sometimes some of the players need to be careful what they say, because it's gonna be used against them later on. Whether good or bad, it doesn't matter. Sure. It's going to be, that's what's going to happen, right? The media, and they're going to pick that little piece up and then they're going to.
And that's why I hate it, by the way. I hate seeing receipts get pulled. I just.
Exactly that, right? The receipts are going to get pulled.
I hate it, but I get it.
But it is, and it's okay. But it's okay though, like, because this is a sport where, like you need every possible way to gain an advantage over your opponent. So I wasn't okay, Corey Seager took it offensive. First of all, the guy was an MVP with the Dodgers, and now he's an MVP. I mean, World Series MVP. So like him saying that
ever do it, dude. Just yeah. we know, long time, Emily.
Right. Like, I mean, the dude can slide like no one's business.
You made hearts.
You made hearts. Hold on a second.
Your love for Corey Seager.
Love is real.
No. Oh, there it is.
Oh my God, you guys!
On Corey Seager,
can I do thumbs up now?
Yours isn't working.
Mine isn't working. Of course not. Yeah.
Now we're just going to sit here for the rest of the show.
Right,
the next
right. Just waving it.
Seeing what hand gestures will come up with what.
That's for the people listening.
But we're such a dorks. But and this. But again, it's okay. It's all right. Use it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just You can use it. Here's the caveat though. Like use it to motivation. If it backfires on you after you use it though, you got to be careful, because someone's going to pull receipts on you later on.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, these guys' rivalry is relatively good natured. I mean, we've all seen, so I don't think any of it comes too seriously. And what I try to do is avoid the Twitter meltdown of it all, because it's just, I mean, I feel like Emily's like my Twitter psychologist, because sometimes I'll just be like, I can't handle it anymore. But
maybe because I also put it too, it's like that Houston fans are going to be mad.
Oh, I wrote this like scathing, really rude reply to Ed, and I was like, you know what though? But I love him, so I deleted him, and then I apologized. So I did. I apologized. I deleted it, and then I messaged him saying, dude, that's not me, and I don't want to let something dumb, because I'm not built that way. It's such a like,
and the way I do it,
online is built for that. It's built to get under your skin.
And I thought it was hilarious though, because I know, there's there's gonna be some people that are just gonna be some rivalry between these teams on both sides of the fence, right? It's just the same with us, with Cleveland fans. Like, you have those teams that you just hate no matter what, right? You're taught to hate all the teams. That's just the way.
Oh my God, this was the haters World Series for me this year. Like, I almost couldn't believe the way that things is. My team losing, I'm used to. Whatever. Them not making it to the postseason, I have to admit I'm not used to, but I was over it. Okay. I couldn't believe the way that things were panning out this postseason. Like, I almost felt like I had died and gone to heaven, because I was like, every team I fucking hate is losing spectacularly, to the point that I didn't even care that the Astros got to the ALCS. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm okay with this. The Orioles lost, the Braves lost, the Dodgers lost. Like all of these teams that I couldn't wait to see their fans in pain. I wanted to see it. I said to my cousin weeks ago, I said, watching, and I thought it was going to be the Diamondbacks, but I should have known it was the Phillies. I said, watching the Braves, the 106 win Braves get ousted in the divisional series is going to hit like heroin. And then it happened. I was like, this is incredible. I can't believe this. And then when you guys lost to the Rangers, I was like, this is my World Series. This might be my World Series.
And it's a loss everyone saw coming because reasons. I
knew. I hate to say this, but I had Texas pegged going to the World Series.
Well, I mean,
they're good. Their offense.
I didn't going in. Oh my God, my poor wife is trying to come by. You guys, she's come home. She's coming home, but she's been in town for like 6 days for the last 6 weeks. And so she said, they just made me gate check my bag, and now I'm going to cry. I just want to come home, and the thought of having to do baggage claim has put me over the edge.
Aww.
I love you, sweetie. And Emily doesn't mean it when she says she's happy your Astros lost.
Not your Astros, Jess. I mean Jim's Astros.
Oh, wow.
I'm very sad that they lost. I did not want that for you.
Well,
my wife asked me if who are you rooting for? I'm like, honestly, I'm not rooting for anybody. Like, I'm just
the most hilarious outcome is what I was rooting for, and it happened.
And I was happy when when they're talking about like all the viewership going down, and I'm like, good.
Because as we talked about, Ed, that's not a Diamondback Rangers problem. That's an MLB's business strategy.
And that's why I say good, because it's an MLB problem, because they said, oh, it's a regional sport. No, it's not. You made a mistake. And now you guys have to deal with the fact that our sport that we love has low ratings because you decided, and again, I know you guys have, fans of the big teams, but like you guys are propping up the big teams constantly and forgetting about the fact that you have the Rangers, who are a small market. You have the Rays.
The Rangers and Astros market's the same. And Dallas and Houston are not. Like, Houston's the 4th largest city in the country.
No. I didn't mean the Rangers, but I meant the Rays, the Milwaukee Brewers, Cleveland, like these mid-market teams. You're not propping those teams constantly. Why? Because, they don't bring the numbers. Because you don't let them.
Well, really and truly, the MLB promotes 4 teams, right?
Yeah.
It's the Yankees, Sport, Red Sox, Cubs, and Dodgers. Those are the teams that, and I get it, right? Because people are short-sighted. So if we, like, when you're scheduling out your national TV audience through the year, you want to get the ratings that as much ratings as you can get now, as opposed to maybe taking a knee on that and promoting other teams throughout the regular season in those national spots. So that way they do get to the World Series. People do know who they are. And there is some level of, but what do I know? I'm only in film and television for profession.
But that's why it's important to expand the playoffs, because for all of these years, first of all, you let a bunch of teams be really shitty for all of these years. Yep. So then when it's like, when they suddenly become good and they make it to the postseason, like, oh my God, they don't have that many fans. I can't believe it. They haven't played a national game in God knows how long, because most of their 50 years, they've had a losing record. That aside, for many years, only like 4 teams made it to the postseason. So when you have a field of 30 teams and only 4 of them are going to make it, it was easy for the stack to be decked in the Yankees' favor and then in the Red Sox' favor. So when they expand playoffs and when teams complain about it, especially a team like the Braves and their fans, like their fan base was spread for a long time because they were really good. And plus they had the Turner TNT thing.
Same
so
with the
people
Cubs.
were seeing their games nationally for many years.
Yeah.
When you have the younger teams and the teams that no one really knows, the smaller market teams, giving them a chance is good for the game, because MLB has made their bed with the regional sports network. So now they have to lie in it for a very long time.
And
it's
look what happened
tough
to
for
these
them to
regional
break out
sports
of it.
networks. Yeah, look what happened.
Right, especially with the Diamondbacks. Weren't they the ones that was that the Padres?
The Padres are the ones that that MLB took over.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Cleveland is very close by, with Bally Sports still dealing with all that, right? You got Cleveland, you got Milwaukee, you got this mid-market that are failing.
The Rangers Bally Sports Twitter account was the most unprofessional media organization I've ever seen. And every time they would post something, I would just comment with, y'all aren't bankrupt yet. But But I do want to get to a different topic. Although somebody does say to you guys, hating the Braves is like hating puppies and ice cream.
What's up, Phil? That's head fit. That's Phil. He's a Braves fan.
Well, I'm a cat person, and it depends on the kind of ice cream. Okay.
First of all, I don't know that I would go there, Phil.
Yeah, the Braves are like pup. No, hating the Braves is like. I have no analogy at this point in time, but you get the idea.
Like, by the way, are y'all digging the Roswell Invaders?
I love the neon green.
That is sick. Yeah, I'm a big fan of neon.
Yeah, I'm digging
Huge
it.
fan.
So all three of us are in a different situation that's the same. So Ed, new manager for the Guardians, Astros looking for a new one, and Aaron Boone's coming back. And Emily, you had a tweet that said something to the effect of, look at all these people complaining about a job that doesn't matter anymore, right? Or something to that effect. Okay, so I'm going to start with you then. Do we overrate how important an actual manager is? And what do you think a manager's actual role is when it comes to a team in a regular season?
I think that a lot of people tend to overinflate what their role is, because when you look at the other sports, like, a head coach in football, like, they are actually devising strategy and plans, where all of that in baseball is happening before the pitch. There's not that many decisions to be made that are like, what are we going to do in this exact moment? Like, those kind of decisions that they're making at that field level are not as impactful as the team's process that got them here and got them these players. And because of, like you said, that it's a sport that is based over that you need a large sample size to really flesh things out at this talent level, that because of that, it's more important for the manager to be in line with what the organizational process is. And listen, that can be good or bad. All I'm saying is that I don't think there's enough decisions that really can be made on the field level in game that will sway a team one way or the other, and enough wins or losses to really make all that much of a difference. You know what I mean? How many games are really coming down to, like, oh, the bullpen, like how many bullpen, like, we're going to blame every loss on Aaron Boone for one reason or the other, because it's easier to do that than it is to say, well, you know what? That's baseball, Susan. A lot of people, they want to be angry about it. So it's easy to act like the manager has a lot more to do with wins and losses over the course of 162 games than not.
I think you just actually nailed the biggest issue with the Astros this year, in fact, because now we're learning about all of this. Not just the GM, but all the front office was frustrated with Dusty because he wasn't playing guys. Like, not playing Diaz was stupid. Like, he led all catchers in home runs and didn't play. But yeah, I think you're right there. Ed, what about you? I mean, especially in the now it's all of baseball. Now that you're the designated hitter, all of those decisions have just gotten less impact.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I still think that there has to be some kind of chess play, doing in the game, right? Which pitcher to bring. I was like, yes, I know. It's like, all right, so if this pitcher right here doesn't get this guy out, then we're gonna bring in the lefty or whatever, right? There is already a plan ahead. So, but I also think, like, and I'll take Terry Francona as an example. The guy inspired the team. Like, I mean, my Guardians were just atrocious this year, and the reason they won is, and I truly do believe this, is because of Terry Francona. The man he knew how to manage a team. He knew how to manage, everything else, around them, right? He knew how to keep composure and all that. My worry right now, because we just hired a new manager, right?
First year guy too, right?
Huh?
First year guy to do it, yeah.
That's my problem. And I don't have a problem with him as a manager. I'm sure he'll probably do well and everything, because from everything that I've heard, super smart guy, right? He's a catcher, right? So, like, track record says right now that, like, a lot of the catchers that become managers are really successful. So I have that going for them. But my issue is there's really big shoes to fill with a sure first ballot Hall of Fame manager that he's going to be automatically compared to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I totally, yeah.
So it's really hard for me to, like, because everybody's been asking, hey, how do you feel about it? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this hire, because I haven't heard anything from him as a coach or as a manager anywhere else. This is his first managerial role, and I don't know. It could go either way. At the same time, Cleveland is a very, a lot of people say cash trap, but I say cheap team when it comes to, like, lowest payroll in baseball.
But who's counting? Just kidding,
Right.
everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, all of us.
But hey, listen, we still got 2 Gold Gloves out of this, right? Quan and Jimenez. By the way, can I say that? Francisco Lindor, no Gold Gloves, no All Stars. Jimenez, 2 Gold Gloves, All Star. Just wanted to put that out there.
Wow.
You know,
The salt is strong.
We respect Frankie Lindor in this house.
we respect them, not so much.
Can I make a point about the manager?
Please.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this is a business, and this is a $1 billion business. Craig Counsell just tied a major league record for making $8 million a year as a manager. That's how little, in relatively speaking, these guys are being paid over this long. So I think that if the manager, and even, I mean, think about what head coaches make. Think about what head coaches make in college for NCAA football.
Yeah.
They make more than that. So, I think that speaks to their importance in terms of what they're able to do. And obviously, I'm not comparing college to pros. Pros is a different animal in and of itself. But I think that really says it all, that you just follow the money and see who's paid the most and who's easiest to let go and who has actual leverage. These managers don't even have leverage. They sign contracts, but can still be fired. They don't even really have any leverage. So,
well, and you could also be the Astros GM and not realize when the your potential manager candidate contract ran out. You know, Ed, we ought to send a special shout out to our friend Andy Tom Chesson and ask how much his Jimbo Fisher is being paid to head coach the Aggies.
That's a lot of money.
For not a winning record.
Yeah, that team sucks.
Yeah.
Texas A&M is not good.
No, it's going to be it can be rough going for him for a while.
Yes, it is. Sorry, buddy. And aren't they going to the SEC next year?
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
SEC is about to get interesting.
I think so. Well, I actually think college football is going, and we can talk about this further in the offseason, but I think that these conferences that you're seeing being formed will be destroyed, and the 64 top teams are going to form their own thing and
be done.
They're going to be their own league. They're not going to be part of the NCAA anymore. They're going to, because it's the second most profitable sport outside of NFL, is college football, which is nuts to me because it's
the minor leagues. It's NFL minor leagues.
And athletes, everybody.
I love that. And you got to raise a little bit higher so I can see it a little bit. Hey, there it is.
Did anyone watch the post games of the World Series or the?
No.
Oh my God.
Girl, listen, it was a lot of times it was Central Time. You know who have to be going up at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting up? They ain't got time for that.
Big Papi, I think it was game 1 when the Rangers came back and then won the game. He said, he referred to Corey Seager as a cookie monster, and he said, "You don't throw a cookie to the cookie monster," because he threw that pitch right to him.
Big Papi's
he was
amazing.
Tough. Oh yeah, so then the rest of the series just calling him Cookie, and he had this exact stuffed exact stuffed animal.
Proudly.
So then obviously I had to order it because I'm a freak like that. I was like, I need that one. It's so cute.
That's pretty good. I'll give you that. That's pretty good.
The only adult to rush order a Cookie Monster in the last 30 years, by the way.
Seriously.
No, oh my God. Did you know how many adults?
I was searching online.
Elmo's been sold out for decades, but boy, they got a Cookie Monster for you.
I've always been more of a fan of a Cookie Monster, to be honest. Elmo's voice I think it's because my daughter listened to it too much.
Yeah,
that'll do it.
Elmo before my time, and I actually quit watching that whole Sesame Street Electric Company thing when I was 4, and Spider-Man didn't talk, and I was like, well, I'm out. I cannot have the wisecracking Spider-Man not talk. So see you later. The Muppets were more my speed anyway. A little sarcastic,
Muppets
like that. It. Hey, so I saw some projections on salaries, and I do want to talk Legos with you guys because I'm fascinated by this. But let's do one more quick baseball topic.
I love it.
So I saw these projections of what some of these free agents will be, and some of them look like they were on crack. I saw somebody giving Bellinger a 12-year deal.
What?
12 years?
Yeah, I don't know.
Was that Bellinger's burner account?
Yeah, no, it was like Fangraphs projections or something.
No way they're going to give
Bellinger Shohei with a 12-year, $500 million deal. And my question to you guys is, now that we know he can hit, and it's going to remain to be seen if he comes back from 2 Tommy Johns, does that mean he's still worth? If before he got hurt, absolutely, totally. Emily, start with you on that. Is he still worth what he was before the arm injury?
I don't know if I guess not. I think that maybe if anything, he may be able to keep a similar like average annual value to whatever he was going to get, but maybe the years he might not be able to get the same amount of job security. Now with his arm injury, it's hard to say because it's not like his arm fell off, and it's not like it's 1979 and he's Tommy John. He's the first guy to get this, and it's really experimental. Like we know now that pitchers can come back and not only be just like they were, but they can.
But the statistics to coming back after your second one, it's not good. And this is
I guess probably not. I mean, who am I kidding? I'm like giving the owners way too much credit. They look for any excuse to not pay these guys.
See,
so no, of course this is not going to be worth that.
Capitalism part of this whole thing, like
I know. I'm like acting like these aren't like these. Like whatever
let's be honest. These owners don't want to. They're cheap as hell. They're not going to. No.
Picture like the most cartoonishly villainous multi-billionaire that you can possibly picture. That is like every owner in the league. And they are going to take any excuse. If this guy had a fucking hangnail, they would be like, you're not worth that every year. So what am I kidding? Yeah, of course not. He is definitely not worth the same. That's why he tried to push it as far as he could.
Did you just say that about the Dallas Cowboys owner? Jim, did you hear that? That's
he is. He is like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still this is but no,
sliding down a big pile like gold coins.
But you brought it up, and so I'll pivot back to the Astros for a second because Astros fans are knee-jerk panicking that they believe that Jim Crane's going to turn into Jerry Jones, and there's two major differences, and that is the Cowboys are the most valuable sports franchise in the country, maybe on the planet, regardless of what they do. If the Astros slide into another period of mediocrity, they will that popularity. And right now, Jim Crane is buying all this land around Minute Maid Park to basically build a ballpark village. He's not going to be Jim Crane. They can calm down. I mean, Jerry Jones, excuse me. Look, I've been living with Jerry Jones for a long time. It's like having an abusive relationship. I always think this is the year.
No, it's not. So I'm glad you brought this up, right? Because here's what I think, right? On Shohei Ohtani, first I'll say this. Shohei Ohtani, I think he probably will get the money, and here's why. One, not only because of what he can do on the field, but also you got to look at it from the entertainment side, right? You have a big, massive market that he brings with him, right? So you have fandoms that will come with him, and then at that point, that will raise the value of the team. So I think for that very same reason, he will get the money. If I'm his agent, that's what I pitch him. I'm like, listen, the guy can hit, the guy can pitch, and also he's going to put butts in your seats.
An entire country is going to. Yeah, you're right.
Right, and that's why I think I have to look at it from not just from the on the field, but also what happens off the field with him. Right, New Balance is making money right now because they signed him to that.
And Emily, I guess you're also going to see immediate season tickets pick up, right? Like,
oh yeah, for sure, yeah. Ed nailed it. You're absolutely right. He comes with. Because you can say that about a lot of players, and we say that about the top free agent every year, I feel like, even with Aaron Judge. That you always try to talk, what you can market them, they're marketable. But no, none of them, with the exception of maybe literally Ken Griffey Jr. and not even him. He revolutionized, I think, like merchandising and marketing for MLB
they would
players.
Make his silhouette, the Major League Baseball for Ken Griffey.
I know.
And everybody would be like, thumbs up.
I totally agree. And Ohtani is 10 times that.
And that's what I'm saying, right? He brings a whole country with him.
Yeah.
That's my whole point, right? When it comes to about Jerry Jones, and I'm glad you brought this up, and then, with Jim Crane, right? Jerry Jones is really good at building brands. That's his thing. Mm-hmm. He built the brand. He built the Cowboys, right? Like, I mean, you go over there and it's just like, that's just a whole city that is just, it's like Disneyland for adults, right? He needs to stay off the picking players and the whole side of the
out of the strip club too, because he
that too.
Glory holes a lot, and he's a real old man.
Yeah, he is. Right? So, but I think that's what a lot of God, I can't. But that's what I think a lot of owners are doing now. They're buying and they're moving them to the suburbs because they're building these mini cities, entertainment centers. Look at the new renderings for the Tampa Bay Rays, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just a ballpark, but it's also what's happening outside of the ballpark as well. Yeah. So, and that's where you see a lot of the value growing.
So that's my main to the players and salary.
Right, 100%.
Because clearly Minute Maid is staying, but he's bought all these bars and restaurants around it, and he's going to be doing like I think we're going to get an actual Hall of Fame building and not a hallway. So that's going to be fun.
Oh.
There you go. So that's what I'm
all right,
saying.
so I'm fascinated to talk to you guys about Legos for a few minutes because my grandson's getting into them, but you guys are like insane with this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess we'll start. We'll go ladies first on this one. Like, talk to me about some of the ones you've done. Like, when did you get into this? And I know Ed, you've got some like you brought show and tell items.
Oh, I do. I have show and tell. I have show
for
and
the
tell.
episode. So just tell me, like, when did this even grab you as a thing you wanted to do?
Lego for me it was pretty recent in like February, end of January of 2021. I've loved, for anyone listening, I've loved the Apollo space program. I've been obsessed with it since I was a little kid. Apollo 13 came out in movies when I was like 8 years old. I went and saw it with my parents. Ever since then, I was just enamored with it. So I've always been really into and felt really inspired by the Saturn V rocket in particular. And I've always wanted like my own model of it or something. And then I saw that Lego had a Saturn V rocket Lego set. So my fiance and I, we ordered it and built it within like, 2 or 3 days. And it was just the best thing I'd ever done. And I couldn't stop after that. And now about 60,000 Lego bricks worth of sets later into only 2 years later. It's just the best. It's the best hobby. I love it so much.
And listen, it is such a relaxing thing to do.
Yeah, it is. And challenging. It's great.
It like, if I want to just tune out everything else and just do Legos, that's what I think. I have my little desk right now. This is my next set that I have to build, right here.
Wow. Okay, so you got the Leia bounty hunter helmet. Okay.
Yeah, look at that, Princess
I got
Leia.
mine right here.
Oh, that's
like
nice.
A Disney.
Didn't that just come
Disney
out?
thing. Yeah, it came out a few months ago.
Man, look at
I
that.
just built, like last week, I just built the a 3-in-1, the pirate ship,
Yeah.
which was an awesome build. It was on sale for $100 at Target, because that's also another thing that sucks about Lego, though, is that it's a really expensive hobby.
It is an expensive hobby.
I just got my little niece into it, but you can get little small sets and things that are great that aren't super expensive. But then as you get older, and just like anything, I suppose,
Well, how do
when you get
let
older, the things that you want get more expensive.
Because they're like, so I'll be honest, I was an old man about it at first, going, in my day, we didn't have like things. We just built what we wanted to.
Yeah.
And then I tried to do one with Braxton that was like 4 and up or whatever it was. Like, this is complicated. So how did you guys how do you decide what sets to get? I mean, I know they're not cheap.
For me, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, right? As you already know, you and me have always been talking about that, but like anything like all the helmets, like I'm only missing 2 of the helmets because I like collecting them, because then I like displaying them on my desk, right?
Mhm.
I have that. I have a Volkswagen Beetle. I'm a huge Volkswagen Beetle fan. I want to own my own classic one day. So I like those are
You
the
mean
things
your
that
dad had Volkswagen bus, man.
Oh, dude, I would love. So I even told my wife, because they just brought out the new Volkswagen bus, right? It's an all electric ID bus. I want it.
I get one of these Texan, but whatever.
I want it. Right. So that's what it is. It's nostalgia, right? Like you love doing that. I don't know why.
Yeah, I actually, my fiance and I, before we recorded, we were at Target because I wanted to get a new set. It took me a half hour to decide on the one that I ended up buying because I want to build all of them. Like, he was like, it looks like you're not really that interested in any of those. I said, no. It's not that I'm not interested. I'm interested in every single one of these, but I only have, $120 to spend on Lego right now. So
yeah, it's your Lego budget.
Yeah. I'll build anything. I love Star Wars. I love building the houses. I love the modular buildings because building like a full building is cool. I built Hogwarts.
Oh my God. I got my daughter into those.
Oh, it's so great.
Into all the Harry Potters. As a matter of fact, we signed her up because there's a class in her school that you go in an hour early before you go to school. You can build Legos, and they teach us like, engineering, science, problem solving, but they use Legos.
You guys should watch Lego Masters if you don't.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Dude, I love Lego Masters.
We watched the US version and the Australia version. The Australian one is the best one, by the way. It's so good.
Wait, there's an Australian version? Where did you find it?
My fiance found it online.
You gotta send me the info. I gotta watch this.
It's so good. It's the things, Jim, you should try watching it. It's really the things that these people are able to create out of their brains from nothing
on the US version.
Like,
Yeah,
no,
it's
but I
so
love
good.
that. I love the passion part of it because, like, I'm looking, like, in my office, I've collected all of Indiana Jones's stuff that he gets from the movies, and I have an actual Pazuzu demon from The Exorcist and a copy of The Rite of the Exorcism just to balance things out.
Yeah, of course.
So I love it. I love passion. And Emily, I'm a big, like, if I know something would like something, I pick it up and I'll send it to you. I have an Astros hat that I've ordered for you.
Oh
You will put in your house.
no, you did not.
Yes. So it will
Oh
be.
my God.
It's
You
like-
are the best. I want that hat.
Yes. I actually ordered 2 because I've never seen it in orange. So
Wow.
Thank you so much, Jim. You
So-
are the best.
yeah, I will get that in the mail to you as soon as it gets to me. So yeah.
Oh my God. And this is my fiance's, this is one I just built. This pirate ship.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, this thing, I actually really love this. Look at this. The mermaid on the front.
I
It's really
love
That's
cool.
awesome. Do you
that.
super
That
glue
is
I really-
so
together?
neat. So
Did I glue it together? No.
Yeah, because there's some people that actually put it together, but they super glue it as they're putting it together.
Dude, if I maybe if I hadn't every single set get like 5 bags into it and then realize that I like turned a piece 90 degrees in the wrong direction 3 hours ago, I would
Oh,
have
I'd be
the balls.
so mad.
Okay, so real quick story.
Go
My
for it.
fiance, one of the first sets that we built was the Ecto 1 from Ghostbusters, which is
new trailer
excellent
dropped
build.
today. Excellent trailer.
Excellent build. Highly recommend this build. I also wired it up with the light tailing kit. That was also very fun and challenging in its own way. But when we built it, the way that we did it is I built all the odd numbers because Jim, anyone listening, if you've never built Lego, the sets are broken out into numbered bags.
Yep.
1 through whatever it is. I built the odd ones. Daniel built the even ones. That's how we were doing this. We get literally the last step, putting the tires on this car. I put the back left tire on. It doesn't roll because there is a single stud brick that had been turned 90 degrees in the wrong direction. I go through the directions, look, praying that it was on an even bag so I could say it was not my fault.
It was yours.
It was mine in bag 3. This set had probably 30 bags. So we had done this 9 hours of building ago. It took us then an additional 2 hours to figure out, okay, we can't take this thing apart because we'll never get it back in the way that you take it apart. Trying to figure out, how can we pry this to... We were able to make it happen, but it was still touch and go there. So that is why I will never super glue any of these freaking bricks when I build any set ever.
I would have had an Ecto that didn't roll. I'd be like, you know what? Let's go.
I said that. I was ready to give up. I was like, whatever, it's just sit on the shelf. And he pushed me. I need that personality. That's why I'm marrying him, but
Yeah.
because he's that kind of guy.
And I guess
Oh.
last question on this, like, do you guys display them or do you
Oh,
do
yeah.
the
Oh,
go-
yeah.
Yeah, so you have them all out somewhere. That's,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
built them. I'm not that kind of no. I put them and I display them, all of them. I have the little brickheads. You know what the brickheads are?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I have a few of those.
I have all of the Star Wars brickheads, and then obviously you guys know who this is,
That's
right?
Doc Brown, yeah.
Oh my god. Dude, those are really old. They don't sell those anymore.
They do
Nerd.
not. I still have them. They're collecting dust, so I gotta go buy this little air gun so I can clean them off and everything.
I've been saying I want that. The air guns.
Air gun.
They're hard to
What is
dust,
that?
the Lego sets. They're really hard
Here's
to
something
dust.
that I don't know if you have it, but this is something that you should get, Em. It's a calendar.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
days.
I have on my desk
That's-
at work a little Harry Potter and Hedwig Lego guy. I need that on my desk.
This is my calendar. I
Where did you
change
get
it every
that?
day. Lego.
Hey, I just got the knight from Raiders of the from Last Crusade in today.
I love it. My
That's
cousin
cool.
collects all these action figures. Has like all room dedicated just to action figures.
This took me.
That's
3
gonna be me
seconds to
someday.
put together.
Lego room.
This took me 3 seconds to put together.
I love it. Congratulations. You should get the Tales of Space Age little set.
I do
thing.
want that. And Ed, you should, if you've never gotten a light tailing kit to like put lights on your sets,
Yeah,
you should definitely get it, especially for the car.
I might just do that. I'm
Dude,
excited.
I'm telling you,
guys, I love this.
It's-
Let's go ahead, Emily.
Sorry. I was gonna say I got one for my birthday and wired up the Ecto 1. Dude, it was awesome. Like it was so challenging in a different way, and it was great.
I love it. I'm gonna get more. I gotta go get more.
I'm going to demand that we have, whenever it's appropriate, Lego updates from you guys because this is
Whenever it's appropriate, any day is appropriate. For
well,
that.
that's what I'm saying.
I literally am building a different Lego set like every week. So
Say if you get when you get a new one, let us know what it is. I think that's great. I just love people who love things, and life's too short.
And it's you know what it is? It's just like it's your childhood, right? You know what I mean? You just like this nostalgia of it, and it's such a cool thing. I want to build some more. I just don't have any room for a lot of this stuff. But I want to build more Legos. That's the
get
one
the
thing.
light tailing. That's the cure because you put it into a Lego set after you've already built the set.
You know what I want to do? I want to,
Oh,
the little
sweet.
set that they sell where you can take a picture of yourself and it's in black and yellow and grays and
Oh,
whites.
yeah,
I might get that.
that's cool. Yeah, that mosaic thing.
The mosaic thing, yeah.
Yeah, get that so I can see what it's like.
I'll get it. Yeah. I think it's on sale. It's like
Is
$50
it weird
right
that
now.
I did buy my Pazuzu statue from The Exorcist and was afraid to open it.
Oh no.
No, I would be terrified.
100%
But
terrified.
then when I got the right of the exorcism to go with it, I put it in there.
And then you're like,
right.
okay, cool.
That is going to wrap up the first edition of this show. I love that we went everywhere. This was so much fun. We're going to take Ed. Is going to take over hosting next time. Again, happy Veterans Day to all my brothers and sisters out there who have also put a uniform on.
Happy Veterans Day to you.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank
Jim.
you.
Thank you for your service.
Absolutely. This has been so much fun. Like I love people that are passionate as I look around at all my passions.
Right.
We will also have on the show, we'll be off, of course, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, but the Wednesday after, we're going to have a special co-host. Little Orbit will be here and on the show.
Nice.
Orbit?
My dog.
Oh yeah. I forgot
Ricky
the
Taglioni
dog.
will be making an appearance. And then, guys, on Friday, we will have, actually tomorrow on New Fanboy 76. I watched the first Hallmark movies of the year. I will break those down. And then on Friday, we will have Yell Fight Suey. We'll discuss how the Longhorns literally escaped from a win. Ed, when are we going to see more Dad Hat?
Actually, I have my sports show tomorrow. So it's every Tuesday and Thursdays, 9:00 Eastern time.
You're doing twice a night now?
Twice a night. Yeah. And then in between, I do this. And then my podcast comes out every Monday at 6:00. This one I have is a 3-part this week. With Patrick Larson of MILB Head History and Paul Caputo of Baseball by Design on our thoughts on baseball expansion and relocation and our thoughts on the season. So yeah.
Nice. And then, Emily, when are we getting the next Breaking Balls?
Hopefully soon. It's me dragging my feet. It's not my co-host, and it is certainly not my producer. It is me. We will get one soon.
When is the wedding? Like, do y'all know yet?
No.
She's like, no.
You can plan a wedding around a 162 game season. You know, it's very tough to fit things in.
Not right meow, okay? Not right meow.
All
Yeah,
I'm
and
saying is,
don't get it wrong, everybody. My fiance is not a baseball player. We just are obsessed with watching baseball.
My child made sure her wedding occurred on the day off in the ALCS. That was
Good.
Raised her
man.
right. Raised her right.
All right, well, that does wrap up from the Peanut Gallery. We will be back next week. Same peanut time, same peanut channel, I guess.
Look at you with the ball.